This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to KPVM-TV News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It's Thursday, September 10th.
Well, the bars will reopen in Pahrump tonight, Thursday, beginning at 11:59 p.m. under the county action plan submitted yesterday and agreed to today by the Nevada COVID-19 Mitigation and Management Task Force. According to the most recent data maintained by the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Nye County is no longer flagged for elevated disease transmission. Nye County as a whole continues to show a declining trend in COVID cases. Bars, pubs, taverns, distilleries, and wineries in rural areas of Nye County that have been reopened for almost 3 weeks with no showing of an increase overall in COVID cases or any cases attributable to these establishments. The guidelines for opening the businesses are that they must stay at 50% capacity, 6-foot distancing, standing and open congregating areas must remain generally closed, requiring symptomatic employees to stay at home, providing PPE for staff, and frequent hand washing and sanitizing. They're also requiring customers waiting to be seated to remain outside and separated. Daily deep cleaning and disinfecting of high contact surface areas is also required. There will also be a closer watch on these establishments, as well as more in-depth contact tracing questions. If there's any determination that a liquor establishment was the actual point of exposure for a positive COVID case, the county will require that that establishment close.
And the Nye County Sheriff's Office says it's received a number of complaints about the method used to test for COVID-19. Nye County administers a test that actually requires a deeper swab of the nasal cavity. It's considered more invasive and more uncomfortable, but the Sheriff's Office says that the county intends to continue using this type of test, and they explain why in a video posted to Facebook recently.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office has received numerous complaints from citizens regarding the invasiveness of the COVID-19 testing procedure. There are currently 2 types of COVID-19 tests approved for use by the CDC, a self-swab and a nasopharyngeal swab, which is a deeper and more invasive test. In Clark County, testing sites have traditionally been utilizing the self-swab test by allowing individuals to swab their own nose before handing the swab back to the technician, which generally results in a more shallow swab. Here in Nye County, testing sites have been utilizing the nasopharyngeal swab. A technician performs this test by placing a swab several centimeters into the nose. As an agency, we began looking into this as the complaints started coming in. Here in Nye County, we conducted 3 tests back-to-back: a deep nasopharyngeal swab that produced a positive result, a shallow swab that produced a negative result, then an additional nasopharyngeal swab that produced a positive result. After this local investigation, we found a study that indicated that 1 in 20 positive nasopharyngeal swab COVID-19 results would turn up negative if tested with a shallow self-swab. Nye County will continue to provide COVID-19 testing with a nasopharyngeal swab in an effort to give you the best chance at an accurate result. If you have any further questions regarding COVID-19 testing, please feel free to contact us at any time.
Well, at the Nye County Board of County Commissioners meeting on September 1st, the board voted to amend and move forward with the Nye County CARES Act grant programs.
After much discussion and efforts to make applying for the Nye County CARES Act grants as simple as possible, the board voted to approve the program and proceed with accepting applications. Application for funds opened on September 8th, and if you or your business, nonprofit, sub-entity has been impacted by COVID-19, you may be eligible for help. Funding will be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. Businesses must have a state business license and a town of Pahrump business license if you are located in Pahrump to be eligible. Programs may help nonprofits with rental, mortgage, utility, and food assistance to the community. The public may receive assistance with rent, mortgage, and utilities. There is help for small businesses with PPE and rental assistance, and sub-entities can receive help with PPE, telecommuting, medical facility modifications, and retrofit. The complete policy and application can be found on Nye County webpage at nyecounty.net and searching CARES Act funding. Remember, funding is on a first-come, first-served basis. Nye County received $8 million in CARES Act funding from the federal government to help recuperate expenses already incurred related to the pandemic.
And after this break, we'll tell you which shipping giant is hiring for the holidays. And mortgage rates are nearly at an all-time low. What that means for potential home buyers when we return.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, UPS says it'll hire 100,000 workers for this upcoming holiday season. And the number of job openings in the U.S. jumped in July. And more people are applying for a mortgage as mortgage rates remain around 3%. Angela Miles has all that and more financial news.
Topping our news, UPS is taking no chances on a last-minute scramble during the holiday season. The delivery company plans to hire 100,000 people for the upcoming shopping season. The number of job openings in the U.S. jumped in July. The Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, better known as JOLTS, shows 344,000 workers quit their jobs, mostly in retail and business services, presumably out of fear of exposure to COVID-19 or trouble getting childcare. At last count in July, there were 6.6 million job openings. The home buying season is heating up. Normally, this is a slow time of the year. However, the Mortgage Bankers Association reports applications to buy homes rose 3% last week and are now a surprising 40% higher compared to a year ago. Buyers are taking advantage of the 30-year fixed rate around 3.07%.
Thanks, Angela. Well, a prompt man has been arrested for an alleged sex crime involving a young teen girl.
NCSO began an investigation on August 11th into accusations of a sexual assault. Officers collected physical evidence of the sexual assault and attended a forensic interview where the victim disclosed the sexual assault and, after the suspect named as Feliciano Gonzalez, allegedly confessed to the sexual assault. During the course of the investigation, Nye County Sheriff's Office learned that Gonzalez engaged in 2 separate lewd and/or lascivious acts with a minor under 16 years of age. The 2 separate lewd or lascivious acts were committed between the date ranges of July 30th and August 20th, 2020 in Pahrump. During an interview with Gonzalez, he allegedly admitted to NCSO detectives that he committed these acts upon his victim. He was arrested for lewdness by a person over 18 with a child 14 or 15 years.
All right, and now it's time to hear news from all across the Silver State with Missy Kohler.
Time for News Across Nevada. I'm Missy Kohler. Finalized data from the Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation show initial claims for unemployment insurance totaled 8,032 for the week ending August 29th. That is down 826 claims compared to the last week's total of 8,858 claims. This is the fewest initial claims filed since the week ending March 14th. Continued claims, which represent the current number of insured unemployed workers filing weekly for unemployment insurance benefits, fell for the 3rd straight week to 221,599, a decline of 6,604 claims from the previous week's total of 228,203. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which provides up to 46 weeks of benefits for the self-employed, 1099 contract workers, and gig workers, saw 10,411 initial claims filed in the week ending August 29th. That's a decrease of 460 from the last week's total of 10,871. The Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation announced that Nevada submitted its application on Tuesday for the Lost Wages Assistance Grant Program. The state of Nevada's initial request is for approximately $300 million. The application is approved. The grant will provide eligible claimants up to an additional $300 per week in temporary supplemental financial support for the first 3 weeks of August. Dieter has submitted an application to the U.S. Department of Labor for approximately $1.7 million under 2 federal grants to support fraud investigations and other fraud detection-related activities, including implementing tools to increase prevention, detection, and recovery of any fraudulent or improper payments in the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance and Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation programs. And the Silver State Health Insurance Exchange, Nevada's state agency that helps individuals secure affordable health coverage through the online state-based exchange platform, Nevada Health Link, reminds uninsured Nevadans they may qualify for a special enrollment period if they have a qualifying life event, allowing them to enroll anytime during the year outside of the normal open enrollment window. Consumers who recently lost their job or had a change in income may also be eligible to receive more subsidy assistance to help pay for their health plans, and therefore should contact Nevada Health Link rather than canceling their health insurance plans. NevadaHealthLink.com. And that's News Across Nevada. I'm Missy Kohler.
Thanks, Missy. Keeping the elderly COVID safe after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, September 13th is Grandparents' Day. COVID-19 precautions have forced many of us to keep our distance from Grandma and Grandpa. But Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Ardashir Hashmi says with careful planning, it's possible to visit older relatives safely. Before heading out the door, though, he recommends we assess our own health first.
Do we have any symptoms of suggestive of coronavirus? And if we do, it would be important to have ourselves checked and also be very judicious about waiting so that the symptoms are not with us for a good period of time.
Once you've been symptom-free for 14 days, take a close look at who you're visiting and how they're doing. According to Dr. Hashmi, there are a number of medical conditions that put an older person at higher risk for contracting COVID-19, including medications that suppress the immune system, any type of lung or heart disease, and cancer. If your loved ones have multiple conditions that put them at greater risk, Dr. Hashmi says it's best to reconsider your visit. When visiting nursing homes or assisted living facilities, you'll want to check and abide by all social distancing and masking requirements. If you're traveling out of town to visit grandparents, be aware of any restrictions in that particular city or state as well. When you arrive, Dr. Hashmi says outdoor visits are best, but if you must be indoors, try opening a window to increase fresh air circulation. He adds that time spent with grandparents is emotionally and socially beneficial for everyone, but will require extra measures to keep them safe.
It's still a visit, but a different visit where the solid core, guidelines of frequent hand washing, hand sanitization with alcohol-based preps, safe measures with social distancing, so at least 6 feet away, wearing masks, I think absolutely key.
For families traveling long distances to see older relatives, Dr. Hashmi says it's a good idea to carefully think through logistics. He says traveling by car may mean fewer interactions and less exposure to other people. Also, be sure proper safety measures have been put in place by hotels and airlines you may encounter along the way.
Hi, everyone. This is Tommy Lee, and in today's Save a Pet, we're introducing you to a darling named Darla at Desert Haven Animal Society.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Today we have Darla. She is 2 years old and she is a healer mix. She's tricolor, which is brown, black, and white. She's a medium dog with short hair. If you would like to meet Darla, you can see her at Desert Haven Animal Society. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can also come see them on Surrey Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse right off of Basin Avenue here in Pahrump. For more information, look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler, poolside for Channel 25 News. Getting ready to squeeze the last bit of summer out of these next few days. It's going to be heating up this weekend as we return to 100-degree heat for just a few days. It's going to be nice. We're in training for it. I should probably get back to the weather studio and get ready for news. This isn't actually my pool. They don't know I'm here. Gotta go.
Hey, what are you doing at my pool?
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada, The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studio, and this is your weather report for this evening. Let's check out friendly Fernley. It's 84 degrees up there as a high today, low 48 tonight. And Weather Twin in Fallon and Carson City, 84 for highs, 44 for lows. There you go. Tonopah, you're looking pretty good at 78 degrees for a high today, 43 for your low tonight in Goldfield. 79 degrees is your high, 45 for a low this evening. In Beatty, it's beautiful, 86 degrees. Perfect. 53 for a low tonight. Amargosa, you're looking at 88, just shy of perfect, but still pretty perfect. It's beautiful Nevada weather. 56 will be your low tonight. Las Vegas, looking good, 86 degrees, 65 for low this evening. And out in Death Valley, yes, you missed it. Skinned it again on that triple-digit weather. Whoa, coming at 99 degrees and a low tonight of 69. Let's take a look at the local weather, shall we? Like the local weather, 85 degrees. Felt good today. 87 was our was where we peaked out, and we're just cooling off a little bit as we head towards this evening's sunset. But the sunrise this morning was at 6:23 a.m. and smoke-free as I looked out on the veranda. Feeling good. That wind was just coming in just slightly, just keeping the wind at west-southwest 5 mile an hour. It's not really blowing in a whole lot of that smoke that we're seeing coming in from California, and we may see some of that in the next couple of days. We'll find out here. Humidity stays about 10%, 17%. As we head into the evening, and that's pleasant, pleasant, pleasant. Sunset this night at 6:57. Lost about 4 minutes yesterday. What happened? Did you miss the 4 minutes? Not even 7 o'clock the sun's going down these days. Low tonight, we'll see 58 degrees, winds out of the east, 5 mile an hour, and that's just perfect weather. Let's take a look at this extended forecast. Follow the bouncing dot. It's getting a little bit hotter as we head towards the weekend. 94 Friday, 99 on Saturday, 100-degree temperatures return on Sunday and Monday, and then it'll cool off just a little bit as we head in towards the week. But look at the wind picking up a little bit. We got 5 mile an hour, 6 mile, 8 mile an hour. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Looks like the wind is kicking up, and we hope that doesn't present a problem for the firefighters that are working. And there's a whole bunch of fires burning. I mean, all of California. If you're thinking about going into the forest in California this weekend, you can kind of forget about it. They've closed most of the forest. The Creek Lake fire, still uncontained. Haven't even thrown anything at it, so that one's burning. And a bunch up and down California and along the border could be a problem if the wind kicks up. So let's, keep an eye out, and then we'll just have good thoughts and do a whole lot of this that it doesn't cross the border, all right? Sounds good. There's your weather report from the KPVM Weather Studios. I'm John Kohler.
Thanks so much, John. And in other news, making it to college means overcoming many hurdles for some students, especially those who are economically disadvantaged. Now add COVID restrictions to their already existing challenges. Thankfully, those solutions are now helped based on a nonprofit's success. College Bound is helping these young adults make it to college and start strong, even in the midst of this COVID era. Kim Martinez reports.
It's a big help. Like I couldn't have done it without it. Like I couldn't do anything without that laptop. I use it every day.
In his first year at Arizona State University, Christopher Hines is especially thankful for his laptop, which is the most crucial tool for a college student these days. Because of COVID, all of his classes are online. Christopher, along with dozens of other students who rely on scholarships and financial aid, were given the laptops by College Bound, a group that works specifically to help deserving students get the opportunity to go to college.
So if you don't have a camera, if you don't have a well-functioning computer in COVID, you weren't going to go to college.
Computers aside, each year, College Bound helps low-income students with a series of workshops to ensure they're doing what it takes to get into college. Often, they're the first in their families to apply, so they need help navigating uncharted waters.
Pretty much anything that student needs, we help them with their taxes, getting their financial aid together.
In Christopher's case, he almost didn't make it through admissions. He was missing one tax document for a job he'd had while he was in foster care, and he couldn't get it because of COVID-19 slowdowns. One paper standing in the way of a full ride scholarship.
They sat down like hours to try and get everything right so I could get here. I can't thank him enough.
So here's this kid who's had some tough breaks, and we have one piece of paper between him and $100,000 scholarship. One piece of paper.
Thankfully, College Bound was there to intervene, and they got the paperwork.
I'm gonna tell you, like, for myself, I don't think if College Bound was here, I wouldn't go to college. I don't think I'd be in college right now. I think I'd be working full time just to support myself and support my family, but they gave me this amazing opportunity to go make something more.
Kim Martinez reporting.
Thanks, Kim, for that report. Amazing program.
Yes, it is, and very helpful, very important.
Super important, life-changing there. So we want to remind everybody once again, like John told you about, the Humboldt-Tyabe National Forest has closed all their day campgrounds and night campgrounds, any kind of recreational vehicles throughout that area because of the fires happening over there in the California-Nevada border and in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry, and we'd like to take time now to lighten things a bit and say happy birthday to our very own Kip McGee. And I'd also like to extend a personal happy birthday to my sister, Velsie, and my cousin, Beth. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.